Hey guys, what's up? I'm Just from OB Baseball Blogs. I'm here with Tim from the Cash, Kelly, and AC Sports Report. Tim, what's going on, man?
Nothing, just pumped for baseball season to get going. Glad to be talking baseball.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time. We got the Twins today. We got a couple more teams we have to finish up today. Number 9 to number 8 is what we're going to try to accomplish today. And then we'll have 7 to 1 on our countdown, which should be going down either tomorrow or going on to Friday.
Yes, sometime in the next few days it'll get done.
Yeah. So let's get started with these Twins. Last year the Twins was a pretty decent team. Did not make it past the Yankees in the first round of the playoffs for the second year in a row. They were 94-68. Ron Gardenhire, I think he was named manager of the year.
Yeah, he was manager of the year last year.
He was manager of the year last season. Thank you, Tim. This outlook for the Twins team, I think they're going to finish in third place. Tim, let's just skip ahead real quick. What position do you think the Twins will be in this season?
I have them in second place. I think they have a bit better of a team than the Tigers.
Yeah, I still think because the Tigers, with the better rotation, they don't have Galarraga anymore. Brad Penny's a good requirement. I think it's going to come down to the last 2 weeks of the season on who's going to be the number 2 or number 3 team. I think the White Sox are in number 1. They will win the division this year. So it's going to come down to the Twins in second place or the Tigers in second place. So let's talk about their pitching rotation. At number 1, we have the great pitcher Francisco Liriano. Last season, he was 14-10 with a 3.62 ERA with 191 innings pitched. Tim, how well do you think he'll do this year? Do you think he'll win 16 games this season?
Yeah, I can certainly see that. I mean, this is a guy who's always had a tremendous amount of talent. He had trouble in 08 and 09 coming back from an injury, but I think he's clearly has some of the best stuff of any pitchers in baseball.
Yeah, I mean, this guy... I have to think about this. Do you think Francisco Liriano will be traded at the deadline because of the Yankees, who have been really pounding on him, saying that they would send over Joba Chamberlain?
They're interested in him. The Twins have no reason to trade him. He's still like 27 years old. His best days are ahead of him, and the Twins are a good team. There's no reason to trade him.
Yeah, I mean, the Yankees have just been pursuing him all this offseason.
Yeah, I mean, the Yankees want him, just like the Yankees want Felix Hernandez. That doesn't mean either team is going to be willing to move that player.
Yeah, I mean, with the bullpen right now for the Twins, I mean, the Yankees were offering to send Joba Chamberlain over, but I don't really think that's a good trade.
That would be a terrible trade.
Yeah,
Joba Chamberlain's trash.
He's not trash. Well, you might think he's trash because you're a Phillies fan and you don't like the Yankees, but...
No, I don't think he's trash. I think he's trash because I think he's overrated. I think he's decent bullpen pitcher, but I don't think he's anything special like everyone makes him out to be.
Yeah, so let's get into that when we have the Yankees. Alright. So that was Francisco Liriano. On to their number 2 guy, Scott Baker. Tim, like I said to you before we made this video, I don't know much about Scott Baker. What do you have on Scott Baker, Tim?
Scott Baker last year was 12-9 with a 4.49 ERA. He's a good pitcher, but he needs to bring that ERA way down this season.
I guess, because I don't really know much about Scott Baker. So what are the key things that what you need to look out for with Scott Baker this season?
I think really the ERA needs to come down. The innings need to go up a little bit more, and maybe go a little deeper into games. Other than that, I can't find too much to complain about.
Alright, so their number 3 guy we have on this magazine, we got Kevin Slowey. This guy has been making news. Today he made news that he's going to be going on the DL or something. Not the DL. He's supposed to be traded, or the Twins are looking for a trade for him. Tim, do you think he'll be traded by the season start?
Yeah, I'm actually looking at that article on MLBTradeRumors.com. I think it seems unlikely right now. The Twins still have a respectable bullpen. I think it'll be a really good bullpen if Joe Nathan's able to come back at the level he can come back at. I think Slowey will probably be there to begin the season. And quite frankly, I don't know how much you're going to get from him. He's a pretty young guy with a lot of talent, but coming out of that rotation, I think he had like a 4-something ERA last year, so he needs to improve before he's even marketable in a trade. Yeah, he had 4.4 5 ERA. He needs to improve.
Yeah, I mean, being a Yankees fan, the only time I actually really pay attention is when the Twins are in the playoffs for the past 2 seasons versus the Yankees. And I've heard a lot of information about these guys. I started doing my research before we actually got onto this video. So, I really think that he's going to improve a little bit this season, but not by much. So, we just have to wait for the season to come. Our next, at the number 4, we got Brian Dunsing, if I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Yeah, that's correct.
Brian Dunsing was a terrific pitcher last season, 10-3, a 2.62 ERA, and 130 innings pitched. I mean, this guy was a rocket for this team. Tim, do you think Brian should be maybe be up a few spots in the rotation, or what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, he had a great season last year. Obviously, wasn't in quite as many games. Actually, he came out of the bullpen a majority of the year, which is why he's down at that spot. I actually could see him at number 3. But, I mean, this is a guy that looks pretty bright for the future. He's about 27 years old, but he came out and he had a really impressive season last year. But I think he's good where he's at. Don't expect too much out of someone in their first year at a position.
Alright, so that's our little thing on Brian Dunsing. And on to a struggled pitcher, Nick Blackburn. This guy was sent down in the minor leagues, I think, a little bit last year. I heard about that, and then his record did not really show. He was 10-12 with a 5.42 ERA and 161 innings pitched. Tim, do you think he should get another shot in the pitching rotation, or should he start the season down in the minor leagues?
He's not going to start the season down at the minor leagues. I think he is a much better pitcher than he showed last season, and I think he will have a bounce-back season in a lot of senses. He's like 28, 29, so he's not necessarily someone that they have to have in their future, but at least to start the season, he's going to be the back end of that rotation because he's their best option. So they need him to be somewhere between a 3 and a 4 ERA, or maybe even a little over 4. They need him to not be at 5.42 again.
Yeah, I mean, like I told you guys before, I don't know much about the squad. Tim's somewhat of a talker for the Twins, so...
I know every team. I'm an expert. Not going to lie there.
Alright, on to their hitting. I mean, this team took a lot of bumps on the road on the departures. I mean, Jesse Crain, this team does not have the bullpen as they had last season. They got rid of Jesse Crain, went on to go sign with the White Sox. Randy Flores is gone. Fuentes is gone. Matt Gear went to the Dodgers. Fuentes with Oakland. J.J. Hardy went on to go with the Orioles. Brendan Harris with the Orioles. Orlando Hudson, he went to the Padres. Ron May is a free agent. Nick Punto's a free agent, and John Roush is off to the Toronto. So, Tim, how bad do you think this bullpen will be? You got Joe Nathan coming back from injury. Matt Capps should be the setup role for Joe Nathan. You got Jose Maris. How well do you think this bullpen will be this season?
Yeah, I mean, losing John Roush and Fuentes are both very good bullpen pitchers. I think as long as Joe Nathan's able to come back and Matt Capps isn't wild, which he has the potential to be, is some good seasons, some not so good seasons, this bullpen's still in pretty good shape. Pat Nitsch, they actually got rid of the other week. Glenn Perkins is a guy who has the potential to be a starter. I believe he's pretty good. So looking at this, I think their bullpen could be pretty decent, and they'll add a pitcher at the deadline.
They'll add a pitcher at the deadline? So
what?
So they will add a pitcher at the deadline, you think?
Yeah, I think they'll add a bullpen pitcher. Yeah.
Maybe they could, maybe they wouldn't. On to their hitting, this team sounds the same, has the same, except they got a Japan prospect. I mean, this guy was like one of the best guys in the in the hitting prospects in Japan. Tisanoi Nishokia or something like that, Tim. I cannot pronounce this dude's name whatsoever. He's supposed to be one of the top guys this year. How well do you think he is? How well do you think he'll do this season?
Yeah, he's 26 years old. I think he batted like above 300 last season. He's a very good prospect coming from over there. It's hit or miss with people that have come from the Asian countries so far. I think this guy's going to be good. I think he's going to win Rookie of the Year. And I think for the Twins to really be in this needs to be guys step up. They lost O-Dog, Orlando Hudson. I think this guy could be better than him. But they got some questions. Danny Valencia is young at third base. Justin Morneau has had health problems over the last few years, so they need this guy to be a catalyst in that lineup if they're going to be successful.
Yeah, so as you guys may have heard Tim say, Morneau is coming back from injury. Do you think he is ready for opening day?
Yeah, he's looked pretty solid from what I've seen. He should go deep for opening day. The question is staying healthy for a full season because he hasn't done that the last 2 seasons.
Do you think Michael Cuddyer is going to be ready for opening day? Because I heard he's got a couple injuries he's coming back from.
I'm not quite aware of that, but he should be.
Alright, so, do you think Joe Mauer is going to win MVP this season?
You know, for a catcher that doesn't hit for a lot of power, it's usually tough for him to win the MVP. But with that average, if he can stay a little healthier than he did last season and play more games, it's possible. You're going to have to get it down here. I think there's better candidates, you know, the Miguel Cabreras, Adrian Gonzalez's of the world. But if some of those guys falter, he certainly could. You know what you're getting with this guy. You're getting an average above 300. And I think he's going to be in the top 5 or 10 for sure. Because he brings so much to the field, hitting-wise. But this guy's a tremendous catcher. I mean, people talk about moving him to first. But part of what gives him such a value is the fact that he's such a good fielder, too.
Yeah, I mean, he's a really awesome catcher. For the past 3 seasons, he has hit above 300. Do you think he can hit above 300 again this year?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, he hit 327 last year. Hitting anywhere below, like, 310 is somewhat of a disappointment.
Alright, because his best season was in 2009 when he had a 3 batting average of a 365. Got a loss of words right there, guys. He's going to have another great season again. And we're going to wrap up this video because YouTube will not allow me to have any videos above 15 minutes. We're going to wrap this video up with the projected batting order. At number 1, we got Denard Span. At number 2, we got Mauer. At number 3, we got Justin Morneau. Number 4, we got Delman Young. Number 5, we got Michael Cuddyer. At number 6, we got Jason Kugel. Number 7, we got Toshoi, that Japan prospect that's coming over. And then we got Danny Valencia, Alexi Casilla going to be wrapping this up. So guys, I'm Justin. That's Tim from the Cash Calling AC Sports Report. I'm Justin. I'll talk to you guys later. Tim, thank you for coming on, man.
No problem. Enjoy this.
See you guys.